Hey guys, so I am a bit late to cover this, but we do have a teaser from the official Legends Twitter account here, which should be indicative of the next banner that we should be getting. I forget which video I actually talked about this, but I think it might have been in the Bergamo breakdown video, but I do expect this week to be the next LF character, and that is seemingly what's going to happen, because they usually only put out these previews for LF banners. Now, I don't think this specific preview is for an LF character, but it should give us an idea of what type of character we should expect the LF character to be. But if you guys remember back to how they've been doing these teasers recently, they typically are not for, the main headlining character. This is most likely going to be for either a 1% sparking character or an EX character on the banner. And this is a pretty obvious teaser, in my opinion. This just fits way too well with a specific scene from the series, which of course is this right here. It's basically, oh boy, Supreme Kai doesn't look too good in this one, huh? not really looking too photogenic here, huh? But this is just when they're gathering the warriors for the Tournament of Power. Remember, they have 10 warriors. There's 10 little slips of paper here. And it just lines up. This lines up too well with this for this not to be what this is for. And so they're highlighting the middle piece of paper on the top row, which should correlate to Android 18, which also makes sense because she's wearing the, pinkish reddish jumpsuit. So it's like a magenta jumpsuit. So I think what this is telling us is this is most likely going to be a either 1% sparking or an EX Android 18, which actually is pretty scary. I've mentioned this on Twitter before, but the developers of this game, Dimps, definitely seem to have extreme biases towards certain characters. The biggest one, of course, is Gohan. Basically every single Gohan that comes out is game breaking. Almost every single Gohan that comes out is game breaking. It's actually very insane if you look at it. Another character that they really do like a lot is Android 18. We had if you guys are playing way back towards the beginning of the game, Blue Android 18, who released on a very terrible banner. It was Legends Blue. She was one of the best characters in the game when she came out. Red 18 was pretty good. We had, of course, the Zenkai Yellow 18. We had Tag 17 and 18. So a lot of these Android 18 characters that come out are very good. So I'm kind of scared if they make her a 1% sparking, because it's obviously going to make her a lot more of a higher chance of being viable than if she was just an EX character. A lot of the times when they make these EX characters, number one, they're impossible to pull, so nobody has them higher than 6 stars off of the initial banner. And then number two, they don't tend to make them that good. I think we've had a few exceptions to that rule, like EX Omega during Legends Festival is actually pretty good. I'm going to probably be doing a revisit on him because I've gotten him pretty started up. I actually have him pretty close to 14 stars, so maybe I'll just give him a bunch of Z power and pump him up to 14 stars, because I definitely have enough Z power to do that, but we'll see. But they do make a few exceptions here or there. 18 is definitely a character where they're biased towards. So if they're going to be making an exception for an EX character, I could definitely see that being the case for a potential EX Android 18 for the Tournament of Power. And I think another reason why it makes sense to be getting an EX Android 18 here is because we already have a 1% sparking Tournament of Power Android 18. Let's just pull her up here. This is her right here. This is the sparking version. This Android 18 came out alongside the yellow Tournament of Power Android 17 on a Legends All-Star banner. So they already have the model, they already have the animations. All we got to do, right, as the Legends team, is copy and paste the model, copy and paste the animations, think of a new kit to give her, and boom, we got an EX character. Commission the art, and that's it, right? That's the way they've been handling these EX characters, which is a bit disappointing, but it takes very little effort to do that. So I could definitely see this being a prime candidate as an EX character for this banner, depending on who we get. But the main thing I want to discuss here is what could this mean for the LF character we're going to be getting, right? Because I don't really think they're going to be giving us an LF Tournament of Power Android 18, who essentially didn't really do much, right? So I think she'll most likely be an EX character. I could also see her being a 1% sparking, but it would be kind of weird to me to get two 1% sparking jumpsuit 18s from the Tournament of Power. So we'll see. So we have the Bergamo Zenkai. Now we have potentially an EX18 from the Tournament of Power. So the question then becomes, what are we going to be getting as the LF character? And we already know, on top of that, that this release this week should be introducing the new tag to the game. We know there's going to be a new tag. We don't know what it's going to be. It's probably going to have something to do with the Universe Survival Saga, right? Both of these characters, Bergamo and 18, are from the Tournament of Power, right? The Universe Survival Saga. I think a possibility that makes sense to me is if they just combine the Rival Universe tag with a new concept and just call it like Tournament Fighters or something like that, right? Tournament Fighters would make sense to me. That could potentially leave out a bit of characters, because like if we let me see if I could pull up Rival Universe here. So like this hit, for example, this hit is from the filler, the filler episodes of when Goku basically hires Hit to kill himself. This character is not technically part of a tournament, right? Whereas obviously the Universe 6 saga was the Universe 6 versus Universe 7 tournament, so that hit from that saga would be on the category, but this hit was not from a tournament, so this hit would not be a part of that new tag. But I guess they could like sort of make this like Rival Universe, like what would they even call that? Rival Universe or like Tournament Participants or something like that? Because Tournament Participants could be a really interesting team. It would include a lot of Dragon Ball Saga characters. It would include, like Goten and Trunks from Z. It would include Hercule from Z, 18 from Z, at least the portions, the iterations of those characters that were in the tournament. It would probably include all the Cell Games characters too, wouldn't it? Cell Games technically considered a tournament. Tournament of Power characters, of course, would be in there. Universe 6 versus Universe 7 tournament characters would be in there. So I think like Tournament Participants could be an interesting tag, but it would be tough to like weave the Rival Universe team like into that. So it actually might end up being its own new tag, but it would just be very tough to actually like introduce a brand new tag into the game. But if we're just talking about specifically like Universe Survival Saga characters here, and not just about what the new tag could possibly be, because we have Bergamo and 18, they're both from Tournament of Power, both from Universe Survival Saga. What characters from the Universe Survival Saga actually deserve to have like an LF, right? So we can take a look here. I think the one that comes to mind the most for me is just the fact that we don't have this character in the game, and that would just be Goku and Frieza from the very end, like literally the character that defeats Jiren, right, and knocks him out. So it would be like, I guess it would just be a base Goku, and it would be a final form Angel Frieza, right, is how it would be. Because again, that's like one of the only moments throughout the major arcs of Dragon Ball. Well, Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super, GT, and stuff like all the four main continuities, right? That is one of the only major characters or iterations of characters that we don't have representation for in this game. So I could definitely see them getting it. We have a lot of candidates here, actually. I think we potentially at some point could get a God of Destruction Topo LF. He has a lot of animations they didn't use. We could get an updated version of Evolution Blue Vegeta. He's fairly old at this point, and I don't think they really did his character justice when he released. We don't have a Spirit Bomb version of Blue Kaioken Goku. Maybe like a reviving Blue Kaioken Goku that revives into Ultra Instinct. We could for sure see some kind of like transforming Ultra Instinct into UI, like regular UI Goku. But if we're strictly speaking about from a Rival Universe standpoint, I think the two biggest candidates for sure at this point are going to be Kefla or Hit. Where's Hit? Any hits on here? Did I miss them? I don't think there's any hit that actually buffs. Actually, there's no hit on this category, huh? So we actually don't have... Wow. We don't have this is the first time I'm realizing that we don't have a hit from the Universe Survival Saga. That is interesting. There is no hit in the game from the Universe Survival Saga. Okay, well, hold on. that actually definitely sways the way I'm thinking about this, because now I'm definitely leaning much more in the direction of hit. Remember that move that Hit used on Jiren? I think they called it the time cage. I think is what they called it. And it basically immobilized Jiren for like multiple minutes. He was just like stunned there. I could definitely see them taking that move and putting that in the game and making some kind of LF animation out of that move, right? If we go with an LF hit. The fact that we actually don't have any LF hit or any hit in general from this arc is pretty insane, actually. I didn't realize they didn't have one yet. Okay. I'm glad I noticed that. Something else too is we don't have a Hit and God Goku character. I think Hit and God Goku as a tag or even just an assist character, because they've been giving us so many tags recently that I kind of want them to take a break from that for now. But that is another option, right? They could give us a Blue Kaioken Goku and Evolution Blue Vegeta tag character as well. This saga, the Universe Survival, they just have so many choices. But strictly speaking, I guess we could just pull up the Rival Universe team, right? Right, I have it already pulled up here. Like the Rival Universe team itself, I think LF Hit, at least now that I know that we have 0 versions of this character on the Universe Survival Saga, to me that makes the most sense for what we could be seeing as an LF Hit. But I would not be surprised at all if we end up seeing like an LF Kefla instead, or maybe an LF God of Destruction Topo, maybe a transforming LF God of Destruction Topo. Would be pretty nice to see the return of the transformation mechanic. I haven't seen one in so long, barring like the Anniversary Vegeta, but even that was like 7 months ago now. So yeah, I mean, it's just tough because I don't really know how they're going to be able to make a team like Rival Universe actually viable again. This team is in a very sad spot, so I'm hoping they do end up giving some kind of boost to this tag through the use of, whether they combine this with another tag or just like completely overhaul the way this tag is viewed by the game in creating the new tag or whatever the new tag is going to be. So let me know down below what you guys think is going to be coming. Again, I'm pretty sure that the teaser itself is mostly referring to this Android 18. It makes the most sense. The color lines up, the placement on the thing lines up, and this is of course referencing this. It's way too in line, right? So to me, I guess if I had to give like a final guess here, my guess would be EX Android 18 and then an LF Hit. I don't know. For a big monthly release, it could be seen as underwhelming by a lot of players, but I think this character Hit definitely deserves an LF at some point. And now that I know that there's actually no Hit on this Universe Survival Saga team at all, I think we need him. Give him the time cage ability, give him some kind of like cool mechanic where he can like stop time for like 3 counts or something. That would be insane. That'd be really cool to play with. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down below. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one.